Milo stood at the edge of the landing platform, staring out at the huge, glowing city before him. The planet was called Varelia. Its skies were purple, and the air smelled strange but not unpleasant. The sun was smaller than Earth's, but bright and warm. Milo's heart beat fast. This was his first mission as a human envoy. He was sent to meet the alien rulers and make peace. Varelia was home to the Varellans. They were tall and strong, with shiny skin that looked like a mix of scales and armor. Their eyes were sharp and colorful. People said the Varellans were fierce warriors. They fought many wars in the past, but now wanted peace with humans. Humans had only just met them a year ago. Everyone on Earth was curious about these strange creatures. Many were afraid too. Milo adjusted his uniform and took a deep breath. The doors to the palace opened, and he was greeted by a tall Varellan with blue scales named Zarek. Zarek bowed deeply. "Welcome to Varelia, human." Milo smiled and bowed back. "Thank you. It is an honor." Zarek led him through tall halls with walls covered in glowing symbols and pictures. Milo tried to remember everything he saw. The air buzzed softly, as if alive. They reached a large room where many Varellans stood waiting. Their faces showed curiosity and pride. In the center sat the queen of Varelia, Xyrantha. She was taller than the others and had bright green eyes that seemed to see everything. Her long arms ended in delicate fingers decorated with small jewels. Her skin shimmered like the finest metal. Xyrantha stood and smiled. "Human, welcome. We are pleased you have come." Milo bowed again. "Thank you, your majesty. I bring greetings from Earth. We wish to learn and grow together in peace." The queen nodded. "Good words. But words are easy, actions are harder." Milo nodded, understanding the meaning. Zarek stepped forward and said, "The queen wishes to offer a sign of friendship. Her daughter, Luma, will join with a human to strengthen our alliance." Gasps filled the room. Milo's eyes widened. He looked at the queen. "Her daughter." "Yes," said Xyrantha. "Luma is young and strong. She is the future of Varelia. We offer her hand in union to a worthy human." Milo felt his throat dry. He had not expected this. I am honored, but I must speak honestly. I cannot accept." A heavy silence fell. Zarok's face darkened. The court whispered. The queen's eyes narrowed slightly. "Why not?" Milo swallowed hard. "Because she is far too beautiful." There was a shocked pause. No one understood. At first, then the queen's voice softened. "Too beautiful." Milo nodded. "Yes, in my world, beauty like hers, it makes people afraid. They do not know how to love something so perfect. They only want to protect or hide it. I fear I would fail her." The queen studied him carefully. "You fear, yet you speak the truth. That is rare in humans." Luma stepped forward. She was graceful and silent. Her eyes were gentle but strong. She did not say a word, but looked at Milo with interest. Milo felt a strange warmth. He wished he could explain more. Zarok cleared his throat. "This is unusual. The queen will consider your words. But remember, the future depends on trust." Milo nodded again. "I understand." The meeting ended. Milo was taken to a guest chamber. He looked out at the city, lights sparkling like stars. He felt alone and unsure. That night, Milo could not sleep. He thought of Luma, the beautiful daughter. He wondered what kind of life awaited here, in this strange place. The next day, he was invited to a banquet in his honor. The hall was filled with Varellans. Dressed in bright colors and jewels, music filled the air. Milo tried to join the dances, but moved awkwardly. Xyrantha approached him again. "You said she is too beautiful. Is that all?" Milo shook his head. "No, I am afraid of what I do not understand. Humans have hurt what they loved before. I do not want to bring pain." The queen smiled softly. "Love can be strength or weakness. You must decide what it will be for you." Luma stood nearby, watching silently. Milo caught her eye and gave a small nod. For the first time, he felt hope. The morning light came softly through the tall windows of the palace. Milo sat quietly in the large guest room, watching as the city of Varelia buzzed with life below. People in colorful clothes walked the streets, trading goods and talking. Loudly, the air smelled sweet, like flowers mixed with something sharp, like spice. Milo still felt nervous. The offer of the queen's daughter, Luma, in marriage weighed heavily on his mind. He was not sure what to say or do next. A soft knock came at the door. Zarek, the tall blue-scaled guard, stepped inside. The queen invites you to join the court for the afternoon ceremony. Milo stood, nodding. Thank you, Zarek. I will come. As he followed Zarek through the palace halls again, Milo noticed the walls told stories, paintings of great battles, celebrations, and strange creatures that looked both fierce and beautiful. The Varellans had a rich history, and Milo wanted to learn as much as he could. They entered a grand hall filled with Varellans dressed in their finest. The walls glowed softly with light from crystal lamps, casting a warm shimmer over everyone. Milo felt the eyes of many on him. He straightened his back and tried to appear calm. Queen Zyrantha sat on her throne, looking proud and calm. Beside her stood Luma. She was quiet but graceful, her long silver hair flowing behind her. Milo couldn't help but notice how her eyes seemed full of stories, of strength, of sadness, and hope. Zyrantha spoke loudly enough for all to hear. Today, we celebrate peace. Peace between Varelia and Earth, but peace is not easy. It takes courage, trust, and understanding. Milo listened carefully. He understood the weight of her words. The queen continued, I have heard your words, human. You say Luma is too beautiful, and you fear love, but beauty is both a gift and a burden. It can bring joy or pain. She looked at Milo directly. Tell, you as human, what do you see when you look at my daughter? Milo felt all eyes on him. He took a deep breath. I see a brave soul, someone who has lived through much, yet stands tall. I see a future that is bright but uncertain. Luma stepped forward then, her voice soft but clear. You see me well, but you fear me too. Milo looked at her and nodded. Yes, I fear I am not ready. Humans sometimes hurt what they love. I do not want that to happen to you. The queen smiled, not with joy but with understanding. Many of us fear what we do not know, but fear cannot rule us. Milo's eyes met Luma's. For a moment, they understood each other without words. After the ceremony, Milo was invited to walk the palace gardens with Luma and Zarek. The gardens were unlike anything on Earth. Glowing plants and flowers that changed color with the wind. Strange birds sang soft melodies. Luma spoke first, her voice gentle. You fear to love because you think it will bring pain, but love can also bring strength. Milo looked down at the glowing flowers. I grew up on a planet that has seen much war and pain. Sometimes love breaks people. Luma smiled faintly. That is true, but it also builds bridges. Without love, peace cannot grow. Zarek nodded. The queen hopes you will see that. She believes humans and Varellans can be stronger together. Milo looked at the sky. I want to believe that too. Days passed. Milo joined more court events, learning the ways of Varelia. He saw how the people fought hard for peace. He listened to their stories of old wars and new hopes. He watched Luma from afar, not as a stranger, but as someone beginning to understand her strength. She was not just beautiful, she was wise and kind. One evening, Milo sat in the palace library, reading about Varellan history. The books told of heroes who fought for freedom and families torn apart by war. The stories felt familiar, like Earth's own past. Luma entered quietly, carrying a small book. She sat beside Milo. You read well for a human. Milo smiled. Your history is full of lessons. She nodded. And your world's lessons are needed here too. They spoke late into the night, sharing stories of their worlds. Milo felt a growing respect for Luma. She was not just the queen's daughter. She was a bridge between two very different peoples. But still, Milo felt a fear inside. How could he, a simple human, be worthy of someone so special? One day, during a training session, Milo watched Varellan warriors practice their moves. Their bodies were strong and fast. Their loyalty to family and honor was clear. Luma joined them, moving with grace and power. She laughed softly when Milo stumbled trying to keep up. "You are brave, human," she said. "Bravery is the start of love." Milo laughed, feeling lighter than before. That night, the queen called Milo to her chambers. She looked serious but kind. "I see you trying to understand. That is good, but your words have stirred the court. Some do not trust your hesitation." Milo bowed. "I only want to be honest." Zarantha smiled slightly. "Honesty is the strongest weapon, but so is trust. To make peace, you must learn to trust as well." Milo nodded. "I will try." The queen stood and walked to the window, looking out over the city. "I will watch you closely. Human, Luma is not just my daughter. She is the future of Varelia." Milo felt the weight of her words. The future of two worlds depended on his choices. As he left, Luma caught his arm gently. "Do not fear too much. Beauty is not just skin deep. It lives in the heart." Milo smiled, feeling hope for the first time. The morning sun rose slowly over the city of Varelia, painting the sky with soft pink and orange colors. Milo woke with a quiet hope inside him, but also a weight of uncertainty. Today was the day Queen Zarantha had spoken about, the day Milo would face the trials of truth, a sacred Varelian tradition. Zarok, the tall blue-scaled guard, came to escort Milo to the trial grounds. "The trials are not easy," Zarok said quietly. "They test your honesty, your courage, and your heart. Many who begin do not finish." Milo nodded. "I understand. I am ready." The trial grounds were outside the palace, in a quiet place, surrounded by glowing trees and soft humming sounds. The air felt alive with energy. Luma stood nearby, calm and graceful, watching Milo with steady eyes. The first trial was called Truth Speaking. Milo and Luma sat facing each other. A Varelian priest gave them each a small crystal to hold. The priest explained, "Speak only what is true from your heart. No hiding, no lies." Milo looked at Luma and began. "I fear much in this place. I fear that I will fail you, that I am not strong enough to protect what is beautiful." Luma listened without interrupting. When Milo finished, she spoke softly. "I fear. I fear losing the peace we have found, but I believe courage grows in fear's shadow." Milo felt a strange calm. The truth, spoken aloud, was freeing. The second trial was memory sharing. They had to share their memories with each other, as if showing pictures inside their minds. Milo closed his eyes and saw his childhood home, a small green park on Earth, where he had played with friends under tall trees. He saw his family, smiling and loving, but also the fear when wars came near. Luma shared memories of her world, a great battle fought long ago, her people standing together under a red sky. She showed Milo the pain of loss, but also the joy when peace finally returned. Milo felt tears in his eyes. Their worlds were so different, yet their hopes were the same. The last trial was called Vision Dreaming. Both had to close their eyes and see a future together if they could. Milo saw a city where humans and Varelians worked side by side. Children from both worlds played together. Gardens bloomed with strange and beautiful plants. No more war, only peace and friendship. Luma saw the same. Her heart felt lighter. When they opened their eyes, the Varelian priest smiled. "You have passed the trials of truth. You have shown honesty and hope." But Milo still did not smile. Inside, the fear remained. After the trials, Queen Zarantha met Milo privately in her chambers. She was serious, yet kind. "You have done well, human, but I sense your heart is not at rest. Tell me, why do you hesitate still?" Milo looked down, struggling with his words. "I see a future that is beautiful, but I also see myself as a stranger there. I'm not a warrior or a noble. I'm just a human trying to do what is right. I fear I will break what I love." The queen nodded slowly. "Your honesty is rare and precious. You carry a burden, but also a choice. Love is never easy. It is a path filled with risks." Luma entered quietly. "Milo, you do not have to pretend to be someone you are not. You only need to be true." Milo looked at her, and in her eyes, he saw not just beauty, but strength and kindness. The court buzzed with whispers. Some were proud of Milo's honesty. Others doubted. The future was still uncertain. That evening, Milo walked through the palace gardens alone. The glowing plants shimmered like stars. Lighting his path, he thought about the trials, the truth he had spoken, the memories he had shared, and the future he had dreamed. Could he really be part of this new world? Could he love Luma without fear? Suddenly, a soft voice called his name, Milo. He turned and saw Luma approaching. "Come," she said, taking his hand gently. "There is something I want to show you." She led him to a quiet place where a small pool of water reflected the glowing sky. "This pool," Luma said, "holds the memories of our people. It shows us the truth we sometimes hide from ourselves." Milo looked into the water. At first, he saw only his own reflection. Then the image changed. He saw himself standing beside Luma, walking through the city hand in hand. The Varellans and humans were united, smiling and hopeful. "I want this to be real," Milo said softly. Luma smiled. "It can be, but it will take courage from both of us." Milo squeezed her hand. "I will try." For the first time, Milo felt a flicker of hope deep inside. He was not alone. The palace buzzed with whispers and quiet conversations. News of Milo's honesty and his refusal to accept Luma's hand in marriage had spread through the court like wildfire. Some Varellans admired his courage, while others saw his hesitation as disrespect. The fragile peace between Varelia and Earth hung in the balance. Queen Zyrantha sat in her throne room, her green eyes sharp with concern. Beside her, Luma stood silently, watching Milo with a mixture of patience and sadness. The queen's advisors murmured among themselves, their faces tense. Zarek, the blue-scaled guard, approached Milo quietly in the hallway. "Human, the court grows restless. Some question your loyalty." Milo nodded slowly. "I do not wish to cause trouble. I want peace." Zarok's eyes softened. "You must understand Varellans value strength and commitment. Your words may be true, but your hesitation is seen as weakness." Milo sighed. "I am not weak. I am honest. I fear hurting Luma more than anything." That afternoon, Milo was summoned to a private meeting with Queen Zyrantha. The large chamber was filled with soft light and the scent of blooming flowers. The queen's expression was calm but firm. "Milo," she began, "your honesty is rare and respected. Yet your refusal to join with my daughter creates tension. Some in my court believe you do not honor our people." Milo met her gaze steadily. "I honor Varelia and your people, but I cannot accept something I do not fully understand. I need time." Zyrantha's eyes narrowed slightly. "Time is a luxury we may not have. War is never far from our borders. If we cannot unite now, what hope is there for peace?" Milo's heart ached. He wished he could say the right words. "I want peace, your majesty. But true peace comes from truth, not from forced promises." The queen rose from her throne and walked slowly around the room. "Then you leave me no choice. You will face the council of elders. They will decide if you are worthy of our trust." Milo swallowed hard. The council was known for its strict judgments and ancient wisdom. This was more than he expected. When Milo left the chamber, Luma waited outside. Her eyes were gentle but strong. "You must face the council," she said softly. "They will test your heart and your mind. If you pass, I will stand with you." Milo nodded. "I will do my best." The council chamber was a large, circular room deep within the palace. Ancient symbols covered the walls, glowing faintly with blue light. The elders sat around a wide stone table, their faces covered by smooth masks of gold and silver. The leader of the council, an old Varellan named Varek, spoke first. "Milo of Earth, you come before us to prove your worth. Tell us, why do you hesitate to accept the union with Princess Luma?" Milo took a deep breath. "I hesitate because I fear that I am not worthy. I am not a warrior or a noble. I am afraid I will fail her." Varek's voice was low and measured. "Fear is natural, but fear cannot rule your heart. What would you do if you were given her hand?" "I would protect her, honor her, and learn to love her with all my heart," Milo said honestly. Another elder leaned forward. "Many humans are known for selfishness and violence. Why should we believe you are different?" Milo met their gaze. Because I choose peace over war. I choose truth over lies. And I choose to understand, even when it is hard. The council fell silent. They whispered among themselves, weighing his words. Finally, Varek spoke again. Your words carry wisdom and humility. But words alone are not enough. We offer you one last test, the trial of unity. Milo's heart pounded. What is the trial? Varek smiled faintly beneath his mask. You will join with Luma in a sacred ceremony that binds your souls for one day. You will share thoughts, feelings, and memories. If your hearts align, peace will follow. Milo nodded. I accept. The day of the trial of unity arrived. The palace prepared with great care. Varellan priests and priestesses decorated the chamber with glowing vines and soft lights. Milo and Luma dressed in ceremonial robes, their hands trembling slightly. They sat across from each other on cushions, holding a small crystal orb between them. The air grew still. As the priests began chanting ancient words, slowly, Milo felt a warmth spreading from the orb into his chest. He closed his eyes and reached out with his mind. Images and feelings flooded him, the pain and joy of Luma's life, her hopes and fears. Luma felt the same, seeing Milo's memories, the simple joys of Earth, the struggles and dreams of his people. They shared laughter and sadness, courage and fear. For the first time, their worlds truly connected. When the ceremony ended, Milo opened his eyes to find Luma smiling softly. Our hearts are closer now, she said. We understand each other more. Milo smiled back, feeling a strength he had never known. Back in the throne room, Queen Zyrantha awaited the council's decision. The elders returned, nodding in approval. Varek announced, Milo of Earth has proven his heart and courage. The trial of unity has shown true connection. The council accepts his place as an ally of Varelia. Cheers filled the hall. Milo bowed deeply. He looked at Luma, whose eyes shone with hope, but the queen's voice was steady and clear. This is only the beginning. You must now prove your commitment in the days to come. Milo nodded, feeling both relief and responsibility. As the celebration began, Milo and Luma found a quiet moment alone. She took his hand gently. Thank you for your honesty and your courage, she said. Together, we can build a new future. Milo smiled, feeling a warmth that went beyond words. I will stand with you, Luma, no matter what comes. They looked out over the glowing city, knowing their journey was only just beginning. The days after the trial of unity were filled with cautious hope. The palace was alive with celebrations, music, and laughter. Milo found himself slowly becoming part of this new world. Learning the customs and language of Varelia, Luma stayed close, guiding him with patience and quiet strength. But not all were pleased. In the deep corners of the palace, where shadows gathered and whispers echoed, a darker tension grew. Some nobles and warriors believed that a human could never truly understand or protect Varelia's future. They saw Milo as an outsider, a weak link in a fragile alliance. One evening, as the twin moons rose over the city, Milo walked alone through the palace gardens. The glowing plants cast soft blue and purple light, making the air shimmer with magic. Milo felt the cool breeze on his skin and thought of Earth's quiet nights. Suddenly, a voice called from the shadows, You do not belong here, human. Milo turned quickly to see a tall figure step forward, a Varellan warrior with fierce eyes and crossed arms. His name was Kalen, known for his strength and loyalty to the old ways. I have no desire to cause trouble, Milo said calmly. I only want peace. Kalen's eyes narrowed. Peace? You speak of peace, but you bring doubt. The council accepted you, but not all do. Many think you are weak. Many think Luma deserves better. Milo met Kalen's gaze without fear. I am not perfect, but I am willing to learn. Will you? Kalen laughed coldly. Learn? No human can ever understand what it means to be Varellan. Before Milo could answer, footsteps echoed behind them. Luma appeared, her face serious. Kalen, this is not the way, she said firmly. We are building a future, not destroying it. Kalen bowed his head, but did not speak further. He disappeared into the night, leaving a chill behind. The next day, Queen Xyrantha called a meeting of her closest advisors. Milo and Luma attended, sitting beside the queen's great throne. We face a growing challenge. Xyrantha said, some in the court resist change. They fear what they do not understand. Milo listened carefully as the queen continued. Kalen is one of their leaders. He believes the old ways are best. We must show him that strength lies in unity, not division. Luma spoke next. I will meet with Kalen and try to change his mind. But we need your help, Milo. You must prove to all Varellans that your heart belongs here. Milo nodded. I will do whatever it takes. The next days were hard. Milo trained with the warriors, learning their moves and customs. He was clumsy at first, but he never gave up. He wanted to show that he could be strong, not just kind. Luma stayed by his side, encouraging him. You do not have to be perfect, she said. You only have to be true. One afternoon, as Milo practiced with wooden swords, Kalen appeared again. This time, he did not speak instead. He challenged Milo to a duel, a test of skill and honor. The court gathered quickly, excitement buzzing in the air. Milo felt his heart race. He was no warrior, but he could not refuse. The duel began. Kalen moved with speed and power. Milo blocked and dodged, surprised by his own strength. Each strike taught him something new, not just about fighting, but about courage. After a long battle, Kalen stopped and nodded. You have spirit, human. I see you fight not for glory, but for something deeper. Milo smiled, breathing hard. Thank you. The crowd whispered, surprised by Kalen's respect. That night, Milo sat with Luma in the palace courtyard. The stars above were bright and clear. Today, you showed them your heart, Luma said softly. Not everyone will accept it, but you have begun to change minds. Milo looked at her and felt a warmth he had never known. You believe in me. I believe in us, Luma replied. But even as they spoke, a new worry grew in Milo's mind. The old enemies of peace were not finished, if shadows were already rising inside the palace. What dangers might come from outside? The future was still uncertain, but Milo knew one thing clearly. He would fight for this new world, no matter the cost. Days passed quietly at first, but Milo could feel a tension growing beneath the surface of the palace. The duel with Kalen had earned him respect from some, but others remained cold and distant. He saw the shadows in their eyes, doubts, fears, and old grudges that were hard to erase. One morning, as Milo was walking through the palace's high hallways, Zarek approached him with a serious look. Human, you must be cautious, Zarek said quietly. There are whispers of unrest outside the city. Some factions from the outer planets oppose the peace between Varelia and Earth. Milo frowned. What kind of unrest? Groups who believe that old conflicts should continue. They see this alliance as weakness. They may try to sabotage the peace. Milo's heart tightened. What can we do? Zarok's eyes were steady. We must prepare. You and Luma are symbols now. If harm comes to you, it will hurt the whole peace effort. Milo nodded. Tell me everything. That evening, Milo met with Luma in the palace garden. The glowing plants sparkled in the soft moonlight, but the beauty felt fragile, like a thin glass ready to break. I heard from Zarek, Milo said. There are forces against us. They do not want peace. Luma's face grew serious. I feared this. The outside world is full of old anger. We cannot ignore it. Milo took her hand gently. We must stand together, no matter what. Luma smiled faintly, but her eyes held worry. We will need allies, not just here in the palace, but beyond. The next day, Milo attended a council, meeting with Queen Xyrantha, Luma, and other leaders. The room was filled with quiet tension. We must strengthen our defenses, Xyrantha said firmly, but also show the outer worlds that peace is possible. One of the elders, a silver-haired Varellan named Terrace, spoke. There are spies among us. They send messages to the rebels. We must find them. Milo felt a chill. The threat was closer than he imagined. That night, Milo and Luma were walking through the palace corridors when they heard a faint noise. Milo stopped, his senses alert. From the shadows, a figure darted past. Milo ran after them, But the figure was fast. Luma called out, "Wait, who are you?" The figure paused, then turned. It was a young Varroan woman with nervous eyes. "My name is Sira," she whispered. "I want peace, but I have been forced to spy for those who oppose it." Milo and Luma exchanged a look. Could they trust her? Sira continued, "There's a meeting of the rebels soon. They plan to attack the city during the Festival of Light. You must stop them." Milo's heart raced. The Festival of Light was only days away, a celebration of peace and unity. "We must warn the Queen," Milo said urgently. The Queen listened carefully as Milo, Luma, and Sira explained the threat. "This is grave news," Zyrantha said. "We will prepare the city and protect our people." She turned to Milo. "You must lead the defense with Zarek. This will be your greatest test." Milo nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. In the days that followed, Milo trained with Zarek and the palace guards. The city prepared for the festival, but the tension was like a dark cloud. On the night before the Festival of Light, Milo stood on the palace balcony with Luma. "The city sleeps, but danger waits," Milo said softly. Luma squeezed his hand. "We face this together. Our bond is stronger than any threat." Milo smiled, feeling a fierce determination. The Festival of Light arrived with glowing lanterns floating in the sky, and music filling the air. People from both worlds celebrated, dancing and sharing stories. But in the shadows, the rebels moved closer. Suddenly, alarms blared through the city. Milo and the guards rushed to the walls. The rebels attacked, aiming to break the peace and destroy hope. Milo fought beside Zarek and the warriors, his heart pounding. He moved with courage he did not know he had. Luma helped rally the people, her voice calm but strong. Together, they pushed back the attackers. After hours of battle, the rebels were defeated. The city was safe, but the cost was clear. Milo stood beside Luma, looking at the dawn. "We survived," Milo said quietly. Luma nodded. "But the fight for peace will never be easy." Milo looked into her eyes, feeling the truth in her words. "We will face whatever comes," he promised, together. The morning sun rose slowly over Varelia, casting warm golden light on the city still recovering from the night's attack. The Festival of Light, meant to celebrate peace, had been shadowed by conflict, but the spirit of the people was not broken. Instead, it had grown stronger. Milo stood beside Luma on the palace balcony, looking out over the city. The air was filled with quiet hope, mixed with the weight of what had been lost and the promise of what could still be. "Last night was hard," Milo said softly, his eyes on the glowing horizon. Luma nodded. "But we stood together, and that is what matters." Milo took a deep breath. "I was afraid I would fail you, fail this new world we want to build." Luma turned to him, her eyes shining. "Fear is natural, but you did not let it control you. You showed courage, honesty, and love." Milo smiled, feeling a warmth spread through him. "I learned that true strength comes from the heart." Back inside the palace, Queen Zyrantha gathered the court. The attack had shaken many, but the Queen's calm voice brought reassurance. "We have faced darkness and survived. This city, this alliance, will grow stronger because of it. Milo and Luma have shown us the way." She looked at Milo with pride. "Human, you have earned your place here, not because of your blood, but because of your heart." Milo bowed deeply. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I am honored." The court cheered, a sound full of hope and promise. In the days that followed, peace talks with neighboring worlds continued. Milo and Luma worked side by side, building bridges between people and cultures. But the greatest change was inside Milo himself. He was no longer just a visitor from Earth. He was a part of Varelia's future. One afternoon, as Milo and Luma walked through the palace gardens, they found a quiet place under a glowing tree. Luma smiled. "There's something I want to ask you." Milo looked at her, curious. "Will you stay with me? Not just as a friend, but as something more." Milo's heart skipped a beat. "Yes, I want to be with you." Luma took his hand gently. "Then let us build this future together, one step at a time." Word of their bond spread across the city. Some still doubted, but many were inspired by their courage and love. Kalen approached Milo one day, no longer with anger, but respect. "You have shown us that strength comes from more than battle," Kalen said quietly. "I will stand with you." Milo smiled. "Thank you, Kalen. Together, we are stronger." Months passed. In the city of Varelia flourished. Humans and Varellans worked and lived side by side. Gardens bloomed, children laughed, and songs filled the air. Milo and Luma's love grew deeper, a symbol of hope for all. One evening, as the twin moons rose, Milo knelt before Luma in the palace courtyard. "With all I am, I ask you to be my partner for now and forever." Luma's eyes sparkled with tears of joy. "Yes, Milo, together." They embraced, their hearts united. As the stars shone above, Milo felt peace he had never known. The path had been hard and uncertain, but love and truth had carried him through. He looked at Luma and knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. Because in a universe so wide and full of wonders, the greatest strength was found in the simple truth of the heart.